The vast majority of my stories and interactions about generosity are positive ones. They're happy stories. But I do have a couple that are cringeworthy. And I want to share one of those with you today. And I want to share with you the lesson that I learned about grace and meaningful, authentic relationships. So it was a number of years ago. I was working for an organization, and I got to know a donor. This donor had been a supporter of the organization long before I had arrived, so I was building a new relationship with this donor. And I sat down and we talked, and I shared my story, and he was really encouraged and excited about some of the things that were shared, and so he ended up doubling his annual gift at the end of that meeting. And I was so grateful for that. I didn't expect that. I wasn't asking for it, but he wanted to support, and I thanked him and really felt like we were building a good, meaningful, trusting relationship. And I would write letters to him on occasion and share updates about what was happening. And it was a wonderful, positive relationship, one that had gone on for decades with the organization. And now I was getting to know this incredible person and this incredibly generous person. And so a number of years later then, I went to visit, and I'd try to do an in-person visit once a year if possible. And in this meeting, I sat down and I had prepared a packet of material to share updates about the organization and things that were going well. And I was sharing all of the gratitude that we had and how his gifts were making a measurable difference and impact in specific areas that mattered to him. And we talked about it, and he would always approach these meetings with lots of really great questions. He was incredibly curious. At first, when you're in these meetings and someone is curious, some people in the fundraising world are really intimidated by that. They feel like they're being tested, and I don't at all. I enjoy it. I feel like this is someone who's invested. They really care about the mission and the cause. They want to know that it's doing well, and they want to know when it's not doing well. And I love to have those honest, authentic conversations. And so we were having that kind of conversation. But then things changed. You see, I shared a letter where we had made reference to the name of this donor with their permission. And the letter had gone out to a number of people. And he looked down at it and he said, well, you would think after a 20-year relationship, you would know how to spell my name right. Oh, I just dropped my head. My face turned red. I was so sorry and embarrassed. Ultimately, it was my fault. I was ultimately responsible. I should have caught it before the letter went out. It had gone through reviews from a number of people, even an outside firm that we were working with on this letter, an outside marketing group, gone through internal groups, and somehow we all missed this misspelling. Now, I'd actually planned to approach that donor with an invitation to make an additional gift that year for a special purpose. But I put that all aside. And at this moment, I just looked at him in the face and explained, I am so sorry. You're right. I know how to spell your name, and I let this go through. It is on me. It is my responsibility, and that does not show the measure of gratitude and respect that we have for you. I am sincerely sorry, and I fully understand if you choose not to support our institution in the future. I'm happy to go whatever direction you want. And so it was an awkward and uncomfortable next 2-3 minutes. Maybe it was only 30 seconds. But he was so gracious. He didn't like the fact that his name was misspelled, and he made that really clear. And I apologized. And he accepted the apology. And he also offered forgiveness. And he also affirmed how much he believed in our mission and our organization, and how it was bigger than a mistake like this, that the mission was more important than a mistake like this. So I assured him that this would not happen again, that we would watch very closely and we would check this. And he recommitted his gift for that next year. In fact, a number of years later, this person is no longer with us. He even remembered us in his will with an incredibly generous gift. And that was a really painful meeting. In fact, it was one of the most painful conversations that I've ever had with a donor, sitting down with them and just being embarrassed and feeling so sorry and wishing that had not happened. And yet we worked through it because we had a real, authentic relationship. He was investing in the organization and the mission. We worked through it, and his gifts continue to be a great blessing to that organization and the people that organization serves. So while it started as a nightmare, it ended in an unforgettable lesson of forgiveness.